was 2009, and I was unpacking my kids' lunch boxes after school, and my then 10-year-old daughter, who was in the 4th grade at the time, said to me, "Hey, Mom, every girl at the cafeteria table today made a pact to not eat their lunches together and go on a diet. That's messed up, right?" Yeah, that's messed up. We've got a problem. In fact, we have thousands of problems in our world: gun violence, healthcare, the environment, and we need all hands on deck to solve these very real and complicated problems. But we don't have all hands on deck, not even close. We have 50% of our population, millions of girls and women, devoting their brilliance and mental capacity and emotional intelligence to shrinking their waistlines instead of expanding their lives. If we want a better world, we've got to kill diet culture. Imagine being on a rocket mission, and 50% of the astronauts are exhausted, miserable, counting their calories and their points and weighing their food and themselves, and instead of focusing on the very important mission at hand. I would argue that that rocket mission would be doomed. And that's a metaphor for our culture right now. Millions of girls and women are depleted and distracted, and it's no wonder, because from the time we're able to process images, we see ads like this. Now, we recreated this ad. You may remember it from the media last year. It was in Times Square. The Kardashians were promoting it. It was all over Instagram. The message is for teens and tweens: if you're not happy with your body, girl, just suck it. Suckers filled with laxatives. It's diet culture that has created this, and together, with all hands on deck, we can dismantle this. When women diet, the whole world loses. And when women stop dieting, the whole world wins. And if we want a better world, we have got to kill diet culture. So what is diet culture? Dieting is any form of eating that's unsustainable, unpleasurable, complicated. If you can do it wrong, boo, you are on a diet. And diet culture is a whole system of beliefs that our society upholds that elevates thinness over actual health, elevating shrinking your physical form over well-being. It's a whole system that permeates every fabric of our culture. It's oppression. It's a culture where Photoshop is so rampant that it's rare to see a photo of a woman online of her face or her body that's unedited. And it's a culture where a group of 9 and 10-year-old girls gather around cafeteria tables and decide to starve themselves, and that's considered normal. Research shows us that 91% of women dislike their physical form so much that they resort to dieting. So if we were to look at this arena, 2,000 tickets sold, let's just assume 50% of this audience is female, 910 of us are currently dieting. And what's worse is that research also shows us that 97% of girls and women think one intensely negative thought about their bodies every single day. Thoughts like, I'm ugly and useless, there's no use, I'm fat, I've let myself go. 58% of college-age women feel pressure to conform and be skinnier. And by the time a woman is my age, 45-ish, she's dieted 61 separate times. She's attempted 61 times, and she's dieted 31 years of her life away on average. So you can imagine, if we're devoting our capacity to shrinking ourselves, how we're not focused on our highest and best work. In a study of 14,000 teenagers, just the idea that they're overweight causes greater risk of suicide. I work with women of all walks of life. High-performing women, CEOs, politicians, scientists, stay-at-home moms, and the amount of diet culture impact that this has on their lives, creating stuckness in relationships, finances, getting their work out into the world, it's everywhere. I recently worked with a scientist who had an amazing invention. She was stalling on getting a patent for her invention, and she couldn't figure out why. And so through our work together, she realized that she knew this patent was gonna go through, and she knew that this invention could save lives, but she was terrified to be seen in the public eye. She was terrified to have photos taken. She was terrified to be on TV, all because of how she looked. I also recently worked with a newly elected senator. She was terrified to be in the public eye. She was stalling on running for office for years because she knew once she took the stage, women in the public eye are subjected to things like this, especially in politics. Why must she dress that way? I think she's confused about her gender. Or this, she says she's on a diet, and then she has herself a second helping of cheese. I don't know about y'all, but I don't want to live in a world where I can't have a second helping of cheese. Hello. If she didn't want us to take an interest in her, then she shouldn't have changed her look. Or how about this one? Look at that face. Would anyone vote for that? Can you imagine that, the face of our next president? Women are trained from an early age that if you put yourself out there, this is what you're gonna get. And if you're not thin enough, pretty enough, conform enough, well, get ready. I'm happy to say that the newly elected senator, she was a candidate of the likes they had never seen before. Female, Indian American, brown, mouthy. And she worked through her issues, got elected, and her constituents are so much better off having her in office. Here's what we can do together. I've painted some pretty depressing statistics here, but the good news is we created diet culture and we can dismantle it together. Pay attention. Pay attention to what you're being fed through media, books, magazines, social media. What are brands trying to sell you? And say no to things that degrade women, that teach girls and women that they must be thin in order to be valuable. Opt out. Don't give your money to diet companies who just want to take all your money and keep you on this cycle of not enoughness. Teach your girls to do the same. Use your voice. It is powerful. Speak out against brands who are making money off of shaming girls and women about how they look. I don't know if you guys saw this in the news a couple of days ago. There was a line of plates being sold at Macy's that was teaching girls and women, hey, if you want to fit in your skinny jeans, put just this much of food in the middle of the plate, but hey, you're going to be stuck with some mom jeans if you fill the plate. Now, first of all, they don't know how to insult properly, because can we agree that mom jeans are back? Hello. But the good news is we all caused a ruckus online, and Macy's pulled the line from all their stores nationwide. So you speaking out can make a difference. Here's something simple and free. Compliment a girl or a woman on something other than how she looks. Compliment her spirit, her intellect, her creativity, her empathy. There is so much more to us than our physical forms. Yes. Thank you. And support diversity, support brands that were mentioned earlier, like Athleta, that feature girls and women of all shapes, sizes, skin colors, ethnicities. We aren't all skinny white chicks. And lastly, this might seem obvious, no more dieting. Don't go on a diet. Don't give your power away to measuring and weighing and basing your worth on what a scale says. And if you're not dieting, support the people in your life who have been dieting. It starts with each of us. To the women in the room, I want you to stop dieting so you can feel strong and leave a legacy and make an impact. And to everyone in this room, you only get one body, give it love. You only get one life, make it count. And together, we will not leave those little girls starving at the cafeteria table. Thank you.